The Philadelphia Eagles are at the top of this division, Super Bowl champs, reigning Super Bowl champs. Eagles minus 130 to win this division. Jalen Hurts back at quarterback. A lot of offseason talk about Jalen Hurts. Is he a top 10 quarterback? Is he not? Is he elite? Whatever. Doesn't matter. They're Super Bowl champs. Who cares at this point? Nick Sirianni has a ring, Dylan. Suck it. Every Eagles fan's laughing in your face right now. I know. Their win total's 11.5. Dylan, are you in or out? Are we going to see a championship hangover for the Eagles, or are they going back-to-back?
I take a look at the defense. You lose a lot of guys. Darius Slay, Josh Sweat, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Brandon Graham, James Bradbury. But, conversely, they do reload in the draft. 5 of their 6 draft picks were on the defensive side of the ball. So they at least feel like they can develop some defensive talent. Do I think the defense is going to take a step back? I'm not so sure, because you do still have some very strong pieces on this defense. The Eagles, I own the city of Philadelphia. I think people forget that. You can't forget the 2023, I think it was 2023, run that we had. Jalen Hurts, look, last year, 14th in pass EPA, but 3rd in rush EPA, 9th in EPA per play. The conversation surrounding Jalen Hurts is very interesting, because I think people are interested in writing him off as a bad quarterback. Like that, I've never seen people want something so bad as talking heads want Jalen Hurts to be a bad quarterback. And I don't think, because of pure rushing ability, I don't think we're ever going to get there. We can make an argument about his passing ability, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They made it work. And we could argue those rush EPA stats are a little bit boosted, because every time they're on the 1-yard line, they just push them into the end zone. And that's for those that aren't out there, that's 6 expected points every touchdown. So, am I in or am I out? I hate to be middling, but you look at some of the other teams in this conference or this division. Who else you're going to be in on? Maybe the Commanders. I'm kind of middling on this Eagles team. I know it's a cop-out. The defense will be interesting to watch their development from within. Connor, Mr. Fly Eagles Fly. I'm assuming you're in on the Eagles.
I am going to be in on the Eagles. Maybe not to the extent that I was last year, but new offense coordinator Kevin Patullo, I don't think we'll see too much of a drop-off there. He's been with Jalen Hurts since 2021, his first year as a starter. He knows him well. I think it's going to look a lot of the same on offense. 4 of the 5 O-linemen from last year return. I know Mekhi Becton's gone, but that's a group that helped this team average 184 rush yards a game. That was second behind the Ravens. I think we're still going to see a top 5 rush offense from Philly this year. Saquon Barkley, I thought this was interesting. He was the 9th player ever to rush for 2,000 yards in the regular season. All 8 previous players to do that finished with 1,500 or less the following season. So I thought that was an interesting stat to bring up. I think he'll still be great this year. It just might not be that 2,000-yard season where he carries the offense. We might see a little more Jalen Hurts throwing the ball this year. Maybe a little less riding Saquon Barkley. I'm not sure. I don't think that hurts them, though. I really don't. I think, Jalen Hurts, if you're Jalen Hurts, you just do what you need to do. Make plays, connect on the deep balls. He had a 46% completion rate on passes thrown 20 or more yards last year. I think if you just make the plays where you need to, the defense is good enough, like you said, they're going to be fine. According to PFF, they returned 8 guys last year who had 70-plus PFF grade. So I think that's pretty good. There's a lot of return there. Cooper DeJean's going to be great again this year. I've got them winning this division. I've got them probably more closer to 13-4. 12-5, 13-4, this division.
Will Shipley season?
We might see a little more Will Shipley. I think we'll see a little less riding Barkley 30 touches a game.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
especially the new contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also with Barkley, do you trust him to stay healthy for a full season?
I think so.
I mean, he did last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
First time in kind of a blue moon situation.
Well, they also had great O-line compared to what he had in New York.
And that's 100% fair. I will not disagree with that. But yeah, I'm with Dylan here. I think this is you. Who else are you going to be in on? Do you think the Commanders are going to take that big of a jump? I would say no compared to the Eagles. I think you have to be in on the Eagles, and I agree with you, Connor. I think this is a boring take, but Jalen Hurts, just do what you got to do. Keep doing what you're doing. The offensive line's still awesome. They're going to be able to run the ball. They still have awesome wide receivers, a bunch of weapons. It's just run it back. It's very simple. The first 5 weeks of the season will kind of tell the story a little bit for the Eagles. You got Cowboys at Chiefs, Rams at Bucks, and then home Broncos. Tough stretch to start the season, but look, if they come out of that 3-2 or better, they're going to be fine.
You look at the 3 losses last year. The Week 2 loss was the Barkley drop when Kirk Cousins and the Falcons beat him, and then Week 16, Jalen Hurts got hurt. That's 2 losses of the 3 last year. They didn't look.
Yeah, and that Kirk Cousins loss was one of the most absurd things I've ever seen.
Outlier. Absolute outlier. Shout out, Dylan. But, yeah, is my memory serving correctly? Didn't I pick the Eagles to win the Super Bowl last year? I think I did.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me, you scumbag.
You know what's
Really
crazy
scumbag?
is I actually picked the Eagles to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I just say somebody knows ball. NFL might know ball.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. But yeah,
Yeah,
Eagles.
I think you guys are right. It's a lot of look at the rest of the division. Where else is he going to go? Where else is he going to
Don't
turn to?
overthink
The Eagles just don't be bad. If Jalen Hurts isn't bad, they'll be fine, which he's not going to be bad.
I love it. Anything else on the Eagles?
Nope.
Fly, Eagles, fly.